Hello and welcome back to The Road to Good Cooking. And if you're looking for some Super Bowl munchie ideas, stop right here. Today I'm going to show you my take on bulgogi beef, which is the Korean beef, and I'm going to put it into egg rolls and into wonton cups. So if you want to see how I put them all together, stick around. And here's the ingredients for the marinade. I'm going to be using green onions, carrots, fresh ginger, Asian pear, some garlic, and a medium onion. Now, I hate to tell you this, but I'm going to have to chop everything up by hand because I just recently moved and I have no idea where my food processor is. So I have to go old school on you. Now for my ginger, I'm going to use my microplane here, and because I want the ginger really super fine. Ginger is really strong and I don't want it to be, overpowering. And for the carrots and everything else, I'm going to be using just my regular grater like you see here. And the ideal is to get everything kind of uniform size. Now, if you can't find an Asian pear, feel free to use a Bosc pear. But you want to have a pear in this marinade because the juice from the pear will help marinate the meat. How many of you remember Pampered Chef? And if you're like me, you probably had 3 or 4 parties with Pampered Chef so you can get all the goodies and all the latest and greatest toys. This is my sister's chopper. I have the exact same chopper somewhere in storage. And, it's pretty labor intensive, but it does get the job done. And it chops up just like you're going to see here. It chops up very efficiently, but it's just so doggone labor intensive. And me, you know me, I believe in working smarter, not harder. That's why I have a food processor. And I would have put that stuff in the food processor, all these ingredients that I'm showing you, I would have been done in about 5 or 10 minutes. But no, I'm doing all this stuff by hand. And see, it does a pretty good job, but like I said, it's very labor intensive. So the next time I make this recipe again, I will find my food processor in storage, and if I can't find it, I'm gonna buy me a new one. End of story. No more manual labor for this girl. Now on to the green onions. I'm going to chop my onions up nice and small with my knife. And I'm going to be using the green part and the white part. And my garlic, I'm going to smash it with the knife, take the peel off, and then dice it up nice and small. And for the sake of time, I'm going to fast forward this, and my green onions and garlic are done. Now on to the next step. Here's the rest of the ingredients for the marinade. I'm going to be using some black pepper, some brown sugar. You can use granulated sugar or honey if you wish, some soy sauce, and some sesame oil. Now don't pay any attention to the little brown spots in the oil because I use the same tablespoon that I use to measure out this soy sauce. So it's all good. See, it's nice and clear. And here are my vegetables that I chopped up and worked myself to death for. But they're done, so let's move on. I'm going to use this plastic bowl to combine all the ingredients. Brown sugar's going in, pepper's going in, sesame oil going in, and the soy sauce. And mix everything up until it's well combined. And as you can tell, these are going to be some really hearty egg rolls. Now you can use whatever combination of vegetables you prefer, but I'm telling you, this is the perfect combination. All those carrots is just going to make it so rich and so tasty. And I'm adding another little splash of soy sauce because it looked a little dry to me. Now here is the meat that I'm going to use. I'm using sirloin steak, which I chopped up in little bite-sized pieces like so. And I'm going to mix that up with the veggies. And everything is going to marry and marinate nicely together. And just stir it up and mix it up until everything is well incorporated. And the ideal is to get all those veggies with the meat, and it's going to help tenderize the meat. My mouth is just salivating watching this because I know how good these egg rolls are. They are super, super delicious. And it's all mixed up. I covered the bowl with the lid, and from here it's going to go in the refrigerator, and I'm going to set my timer for about 15 minutes. I'm going to let it marinate for 15 minutes and then stir it up and then marinate it for another 15 minutes. For these egg rolls, I'm going to be using purple cabbage and Napa cabbage. And if you can't find Napa cabbage, just use the plain green cabbage. It will be fine either way. Here I'm cutting my cabbage in quarters so it'll fit better in the chopper. Yes, I'm working hard. I'm working overtime trying to get this cabbage chopped up as fine as I want it. But I got it done. And like I said, food processor is definitely in order. Now I'm only gonna chop up a little bit of the Napa cabbage with the chopper because it was a little bit more difficult to chop up because it's so soft. So all I'm gonna do is take out the that center part here and discard that, and then cut it up in little manageable pieces where it'll fit into the chopper. And see what I mean? It really didn't chop it up that good. So, like I said, I'm just going to chop up a little bit of it with the chopper, and the rest I'll do the old-fashioned way and just chop it up by hand with using my knife. To my medium saucepan, I'm adding some olive oil, and I have it over medium-high heat, and I'm going to saute my cabbage just until it's softened, just for a few minutes. I'm going to hit it with a dash of seasoning salt. Give it another quick mix. And then I'm going to hit it with some red curry paste. Now the red curry paste is just going to fortify all the delicious flavors that I already have in there. And red curry paste is a spicy blend of red chilies, garlic, ginger, sugar I believe is in there, lemongrass, coriander, turmeric, cumin, sea salt, black peppercorns, and I tell you what, I put this stuff on everything when I'm doing a stir fry or any type of Asian recipes. I'm adding this stuff to everything because it tastes so wonderful. I'm going to give it a quick taste, and it tastes amazing. Now on to the next step. I added my sirloin mixture with the veggies to a screeching hot cast iron skillet. Now I've made this before using my wok, but my wok is in storage with the rest of my stuff, so I have to use a cast iron skillet. So I'm only going to cook it just for a couple of minutes, just long enough for it to caramelize and brown slightly, and then I'm going to add this mixture to the cabbage. Too bad there's not a button that you guys can push where you can smell the aroma coming from the sirloin steak and all the vegetables and all the spices and seasonings. Oh my goodness, it's just... I'm sitting here salivating just thinking about it and just watching it and knowing how good it smelled when I was making it. I'm going to continue cooking my meat in batches until everything is done. I forgot to mention I'm adding about a teaspoon of curry paste to every batch of meat, and just blend it in real good. And I had to taste a piece, and oh my God, it just melts in your mouth. That sirloin is so tender. Now, if you're going to use beef for this recipe, use a good quality beef like a sirloin or ribeye. You can make it with ground beef if you wish, but it's just not going to taste near as good as using it with a good quality cut of beef. And I've also made this recipe using ground chicken, which is really tasty. And here's the rest of the Napa cabbage that I sliced up super thin using my knife. Now, if I had my mandolin, which is in storage, I would have been finished with this project. Now, I'm going to add this. I'm going to saute the cabbage in the same pan that I just seared my sirloin mixture with. And the moisture from the cabbage is going to deglaze the pan, so it's going to pick up all those beautiful brown bits of flavor that's in the bottom of the pan here. And I tell you what, I had a quick taste of this after I sauteed it, and it is absolutely amazing. I mean, it just melted in my mouth. It really did. I'm going to hit my sauteed cabbage with some seasoning salt and about a teaspoon of the red curry paste, and mix it until it's well incorporated. And it was already good before I added the curry paste. Now it is over the top in flavor. Looks good, doesn't it? I bet you want some, don't you? You can't have none, nanny, boo-boo. I know. Miss J is being so mean, torturing you guys, right? Seriously, this cabbage is so good. I mean, you can eat it just like it is add some, I've made it where I've added shrimp to it or, protein, and it's just awesome. And here I'm adding the Napa cabbage to the rest of the mixture. And mix everything until it's well incorporated. And on to the next step. In this bowl, I have 2 eggs and 2 tablespoons of water. And this is going to be my egg wash. This is what I'm going to use to seal my egg rolls after I make them. And here's my egg roll wraps. I'm going to use the large ones. And then here are my wonton wraps for my wonton cups. My knee is starting to bother me, so I have to do my wrapping my egg rolls sitting down. So here's my workstation. I have a platter back there, which I put some cornstarch on, and that's where I'm going to put the finish egg roll wraps. There are my egg roll wraps. There's my egg wash and my meat. Now let me show you how I roll my egg rolls. I don't like to make my egg rolls too big because I like to make them more cocktail size. And with these egg rolls, they're going to be hearty, so they're really not going to want more than 1 or 2 of them. So make them small. So you put the meat right in the center, and I'm using about 1.5 tablespoons of meat mixture. And then I'm going to take the egg wash, go around the edges. Fold the sides in so it's going to look like an envelope when you get done. Doesn't it? And then roll it up tightly. And I'm going to place it in that pan to my right here, same side down. Now let me show you how I made my wonton cups. Now I'm using a regular size muffin tin, but you can use the mini size as well, and it'll make a smaller cup, but it works just fine. And I sprayed it with canola oil, and I'm going to take a wonton wrap and put in each little area, each little circle, and just gently put it in there if I can get it done. Okay, here we go. Gently lay it in there, and with your fingertips, gently press it down in there so you won't poke a hole in it like I just did. Just like that. God, these things are hard to get apart. Okay, here we go again. Gently press it down in there. And these are going to make the perfect little cups. And you can fill them up with this mixture that I made. I've filled them up with chili and taco meat, and they're just fun little things to make little appetizers with. You know, your creativity, the sky's the limit as far as creativity. Have fun with it. And I got them all finished. I only poked a hole in maybe 1 or 2 of them, but that's okay. Now they're going to go into a 350-degree oven until they're golden brown and delicious. And here's my finished egg rolls. And I have them on a platter that I sprinkled with cornstarch, and that'll keep them from sticking to the pan and sticking to each other. And there's some I use some of my wonton wraps to make little appetizers. I tried to make dumplings, but that didn't work. I preheated my little fryer to 350 degrees, and I'm going to fry my egg rolls until they're golden brown and delicious. And my sister is sharing her egg roll with you, and look at them. They are golden brown and super delicious. I know, I tasted them. And here's all the dipping sauces. And there's my wonton cups that I filled with my meat mixture and topped it with some green onions. And there's my little dumpling that I tried to make, which looks pitiful, but it was good. And here's the mukbang that I shot the next day. And I have my wonton cup, and I topped it with some sour cream and chives. And it is delicious. I mean, it was better the next day. And here's all the different sauces that I'm using. I have some sweet and sour sauce, some honey mustard, some sweet chili sauce. Check out this crunch. Mmm. Mmm. Oh. Mm-mm-mm. And you know I have to check out the egg roll. Oh. I'm telling you, that first bite was everything. You guys, your guests will love these egg rolls. They are savory, they're hearty, the meat is tender. I mean, it just melts in your mouth when you bite it. Serve it with all kinds of dipping sauces, and just let your guests have fun with it. And this recipe will not disappoint. I'm telling you, it will not disappoint. If it does, you can call me, fuss at me, beat me up, take my dog, but I guarantee you, your family and your friends will love this recipe. So, if you have any questions, leave me a comment down below. Thank you for coming by and watching my video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy day to come hang out with me. And I hope you all have a very fun Super Bowl Sunday and just enjoy your family. And you know, I have a slogan that I have on my letterhead and on my business cards, and it says, food is what brings family and friends together. And there's no better way to enjoy your family than with a good plate of food in front of them and some good fellowship and some prayer. Thank you so much for stopping by. Be blessed and keep on cooking.